that's a victory in its own, right? You know, forget the trophy, forget the prize money. He wants his chance to go up against his rival.
That's the rivalry we all want to see happen.
Oh yeah, and I can't wait for it because it's going to be epic. You know, whichever one of those wins is going to be celebrating the chair.
And a couple of players I want to talk about as well that were kind of challenging that Tfue. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to leave it to. I'm going to let the story tell itself, gentlemen. Do you know why? Because it's time to get into game number 1, baby. Katowice, I hope you're ready for this one. Round number 1 is underway. Gentlemen, take it away.
Oh, man. So, Facts Fox, we wanted to look at this man in particular, and I'm a little bit disappointed off the bat here. At least in solos, I'll say this, though, Speedy. We talked about him, and he's been so vocal about how often he wants to go tilted. But he's given it up off the bat. So adaptations, as we were just talking on the desk, we're seeing players do that, at least here in solos so far today. Building going on now, and it looks like Demo, actually both players not going to have any sort of shields. Demo's the one applying this pressure.
Absolutely. The reason you land here in Diner is because you don't want to get contested, but didn't really work out according to plan.
All right, so while we do see this fight breaking down as Nate takes down Shinken, just to update you as well around the map, we actually do have a relatively good spread across. We got a couple of players already being dropped as well. As I'm trying to go over the list. Is any notable names that you see?
Demo taking down Eric. Go kind of off to the side there. Kuna was.
Yeah, it's going to be up in an interesting fight here. He actually does have the higher position up against him. He's just looking for that shot. He's got the shotgun. He's trying to go for the replacer, trying to take down multiple walls so he can get control of it.
Marana is so weak here, and Kuna knows it. He gets into his box. The trap goes down.
Actually, you got the great little replacer. He's not getting the elimination just yet. Another place to become. He will take down Marana. So that'll be his first elimination. We heard a trap go down in the last second there. A couple of clingers as well, even sported it.
The disrespect.
Or respect, I want to call it. No, but disrespect definitely there. You have Myth now, a player that we haven't even talked about over the course of today, representing TSM. He's got Cloud as his partner for tomorrow when we get into our duos. He's got Kripa to fight with here, to contend with. But so far, only 9 eliminations have gone through.
Absolutely. Myth's landing spot is typically Lonely Lodge. Didn't get affected by the Season 8 patch, so nice little rotation there that he's used to.
You see Tixi able to get above Zypan here. Now, if you're Zypan in this situation, Speedy, how do you kind of fight your way out of this?
This is a tough situation. You're just kind of sitting there, turtling, trying to disengage. It looks like he's going for the disengage, actually. Meanwhile, you know, his opponent's just holding high ground.
He's given him the high ground, though, so he's given him the respect, which I think is really important to see.
None of these players really want to engage each other. You can see by the way they're moving around. They just kind of got into an awkward situation where they ran into each other. And they said, hey, you know, let's just go our separate ways here. Yeah,
let's just back away. Let's just play for the later on stages of this one. Myth's still looking for Kripa, and Kripa seems to be the one wanting to take the fight here.
Yeah, so even though Kripa has high ground, Myth is healthy here.
And he's making the push happen. Only 8 builds, 7 builds left here for Kripa as he's using all of his materials for this engagement. Down to 9 HP. He's got a first aid kit, but the stink bomb comes through. And it looks like the stink bomb will take him down. Myth gets the elimination, and more importantly, gets his first on the board. Hughes too. He's got a slurp in there. A couple of small shields.
Yeah, he's looking good. Definitely playing for endgame. It's kind of what we expected to see, right? The first game, everyone just feeling each other out. You know, aggressive players like Faxbox, no eliminations yet, first circle, and typical of what, you know, a first game should kind of look like.
Yeah, exactly. Stink bomb coming in. He knows there's a player there now taking a little bit of damage. Throws it ahead of him, trying to catch him off guard. Seth is just being pressured as Jordan's looking to actually close it on this elimination potentially. He's got the shotgun for up close play. He's going for the replace. He gets it. He goes for the edit as well, but that's a great escape here by Seth. But for how long, actually? Seth actually escapes and manages to turn around to take down Jordan with a great little play. He uses the ramp to block the shot, right? Then gets above him and drops.
I absolutely expected Jordan to win that engagement. He had the shield or the health tags on him. He had the advantage. He had the high ground, and Seth ended up turning it around.
Now X8 going to be tuning in with him here as his kit. Yeah, looking all right for now. So having a little bit of a strong start, which is very important here. Dementos be on Team Secret now, going for an elusive engagement up against Saf, and Saf is the player I have to win this whole thing, to win this whole tournament solos. And no, Saf goes down. The commentator's curse comes through. My boy Saf, I'm sorry, I apologize, but Dementos, that was a fantastic shot.
I'm so upset. I really wanted to see Saf in the end game and show us what he could do.
We got a pirate cannon.
We have a cannon.
We got a pirate cannon. I want to see someone get an elimination with this. Hell, I want to see someone blast out of it like Team Rocket and get it across the other side of the map. And now Provoked is going to be on the high ground. He's got Vilix and BloodX under him.
It's kind of funny that we see these players setting up here. They know there's a cannon. Really good in case they don't get circled. Just kind of launch out of there. If you're in a cannon, you can get 100 or 260 meters in one direction.
And you can do a lot of damage with it too. You can do, I think it's 100 direct, it's like 50 splash. That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage that you can inflict on your opponent there. Vilix, really weak.
Yeah, I think it might be time to use the Rift here to escape this one, just to go for the first aid. Got the Storm Surge coming through. He's actually below the threshold. Now he's going to be above it, luckily for him. But the pressure's going to be coming through, and Provoked going to get that elimination, get his first now.
Right now, most of these players at the broken Pirate Outpost need to start going on in. I expect a launch pad going in. This is TSM taking out Kripa.
Yeah, good old myth. And then Seth as well. Nice little drop down. He actually catches his opponent off guard. He wasn't even looking towards him.
I always get nervous when I see them drop into a box. Traps could go down, could easily turn the other direction.
Yeah, and you don't want to be eliminated from a trap, at least in game one. Mitro as well, looking for the shot the window. I believe he did get that one. But now we've got Camo there. We've got Nate, Scram, Tomo from Alliance, Sakoner as well. Smeep off to the side. Again, the duo from Milan. And Animal, we haven't even touched on him just yet. I think Zacubus was saying he's a player he expects to do well.
You definitely want to keep an eye on Animal. Yesterday during the practice matches, him and his teammate Aspect actually won 2 practice games back-to-back.
Wow. That's a good sign. That's an amazing sign.
That is an amazing sign.
I just hope they didn't peak too early in the tournament, you know? Get those 2 wins yesterday and then not be able to perform when it comes to the actual matches.
Absolutely. Hopefully the adrenaline slept them and they're nice, calm, and collected. Ghost Aydan, they're on the side, just trying to get into zone.
Yeah, good to see him still alive and kicking. I believe you mentioned before Aim Hero was the player that was over towards Tilted, so it looks like they're just disengaged from each other. Storm Surge in effect as well.
So Storm Surge, if a player is, for example here, Provoked has 265 above the threshold.
Yeah.
He's in a nice position. He doesn't have to worry about it, but for the player who doesn't have a lot of player damage dealt, he's going to start getting his health ticked. In a really tough position, he's definitely going to want to start pushing or laying down some fire. Well, otherwise, he's going to be out of the tournament.
Yeah, and, well, at least out of the first round. Let's say he's out of the tournament. We're not kicking him out yet, Speedy.
Out of the game.
Yeah, out of the game. We can see Aydan going to be taking high ground here as we see a lot of players trying to build on and add their own little rooms to this giant castle being built. Milan has fallen, unfortunately. But again, just match number 1. Just turned 16 about a day, or actually not a day, so about a week ago, if I'm not mistaken. And Jarkos, the man that came in as the wild card into this, didn't even know he's going to be playing here today in this Solos tournament. He's still alive here as we're about to approach that top 50.
I'm definitely excited to see him still alive. I definitely want to see how he does. I believe I see Liquid 72 Hours there still alive as well. So he managed to, get a safe drop and rotate on into the circle.
Jarkos has to be careful, though. He's got Jesse off to his side. He's got Skix under them, but we're at these stages where everyone's going to be on everyone. It's about hitting these shots, getting the eliminations where you can get them. You can see Jarkos still just looking for a couple of shots here in between. He's got a launch pad, so there's no need for him to rush into the circle just yet.
Yeah, the ideal situation here is that someone else puts down their launch pad and you just take their launch pad. You don't really want to put down your own.
Yeah.
You want to save it for endgame, save it for that, those long moving circles, and most of these players over here by the diner definitely needs to start thinking about that rotation.
Cloud has fallen, by the way, so TSM going to be losing another player so far in
Kuna's still in it.
Yeah, he's still around, and Zeke as well. Like the thing is, I don't mean it to sound bad, but there was a lot of underperforming out of players that we saw in the Polish tournament that we expected to be into the top levels. Now going into this tournament, which is, unarguably a more difficult tournament for everyone, it's going to be even more harder for him to perform, right?
Yeah.
You would imagine, but he's been able to break top 50 so far.
Yeah, players like Zeke, who maybe didn't perform as well as they might have wanted in last week's tournament, definitely a chip on their shoulder, definitely want to prove it to themselves and everyone here.
Jarkos has gone down. The Brazilians have struck. History gets his elimination on the board, eliminating our wild card player. And look at this. We see, I believe there's cannons coming through.
Liquid Chap still alive. I believe I saw Razaru. Energy Zate, another NA player that you want to keep an eye on. Definitely one of the top. I believe this is Saf's teammate.
Yep, Saf and Zate. Different orgs, but friends nonetheless here, but we're even hearing some bottle rockets going off here. You can see Zate trying to get some high ground, though. He's not going to have the ultimate high ground. It's going to be Alpha, the one to have this, looking for some shot. He's got a couple of clingers, and it's not very often, Speedy, we see clingers last this long into the game.
No, probably just saving it here for endgame. You definitely want to save those clingers for, you know, some easy, quick cleanup kills so that you can get your HP up. You don't need Zate just kind of holding that wall.
Getting a couple of rockets off here or there, too. Trying to spammed out of Alpha.
Alpha just not letting up. And when you're in high ground like this, you definitely don't want to let up. You want to get as many tags as possible. Ghost Bizzle still alive.
Well, this is now the question as we get to, as Funk Bomb has been eliminated. The Storm is going to start to move here momentarily, and this is where people need to have that material to build, to get across, to be able to maintain some sort of positions. I want to see how Alpha is going to try to maintain this high ground. He's going to have to be very careful in how he builds. Those launch pads as well. I think everyone's going to be jumping on top of this here, Speedy. You can see the pressure starting to take in here. A lot of elimination, a lot of damage being done. Skix has fallen. Sakona takes down Nate. Faze going to be out, I believe, with their 2 players. And Bizzle, he's just trying not to get pushed on. He's trying to not be aggressive on. He's looking to retreat away from this one, looking for another fight. He might be able to get it here. He might be able to get this elimination done. He's still looking for the damage the building has come in. He's down to 50 HP. He could lose this fight potentially, Speedy.
Bizzle's so weak here. Dropping into his box. He ends up turning it around.
Takes down Little J. Zextro as well going to fall, one of the most aggressive players we have in Fortnite.
Liquid Vivid, Vinny still alive. Camo still alive. Bizzle just trying to get his HP up after that engagement.
I think Nickoff, well, he died to the Storm Surge. A little unfortunate for there. Not going to be in the best situation. Demo's going to fall there, as you see from the low ground. Jamside, where did he even come from? He's somehow been able to take the ultimate high ground away from everyone as the Storm continues to move through. Look, everyone with Crazy Llama not going. Japan has lost out a player. And Jamside, he's got 3 eliminations. That's 15 points already. Can he maintain the spot, though?
Jamside with 16 builds left. He can't maintain this high ground. He actually gets to drop down 10 more builds. He has to get an elimination here. 105 pump going on in.
Looking for Zayd. He's too focused on Zayd. He's being shot from a couple of different directions. You can see Bizzle there towards the low ground. Spieth, Vinny. You have Skeet to the left-hand side with Camo and Animal. Zayd's fallen. He's now dropped out of this one. Jamside going to be floating back in to retain this high ground position.
Bizzle trying to take high ground. Bizzle ends up taking the high ground from Jamside. Jamside, no builds left.
This is tough. How do you get out of this position? He's got the maximum shield he can possibly get.
He has a launch pad, but he can't even put it down because he has no builds.
Oh, he's looking to escape this, looking to maybe build down through this tower as the Storms and eventually close in on him. Tomo is looking very good, back to full HP. Vinny on a sliver of health left. He's just trying to stay alive towards the lower end side.
Jamside ended up going down, but Ghost Bizzle maintains the high ground.
Oh, he's trying to. He's got enough builds to do. He's got a first aid kit if he needs as well. Animal has fallen as Smeef's able to get his elimination, being brought in by Milan as his dual partner and doing some serious work here. It's Bizzle on the high ground, able to help get the damage.
Goes down 1v1.
Skeet's the one to get these eliminations. Down to that 1v1. He's going to drop down, take a little bit of damage for this one, but can he get this elimination? 14 builds left to go. He's got the shotgun. He knows where his enemy's going to be. But the time is taken away. He goes for the jump shot, actually on the build as well, trying to look for any sort of damage he can engage with before he goes for the drop, before he goes
Bizzle with no more builds.
Well, now he's going to have to engage into this one, right, Speedy? You can see towards the
He has to drop down. He has to drop down.
50 HP left. He's still trying to sprint. Yes, G with 19 HP. Bizzle takes the first victory out of today.
Bizzle, our secret skirmish, first place winner 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
you love to see it.
You love to see it. You love to see that consistency as well. We didn't get to talk about this at the start of the show, but consistency is amazing. But sometimes you need to have those standout games. But hell, if you're consistently in top 3 like this, consistency is perfect for you.